Hello, good evening. I am Ajit Kumar Jha, the editor of Public Global and CEO of Power Pixar channel. And today we want to focus on the recently concluded Congress Working Committee and All India Congress Committee sessions that took place in Ahmedabad, in Gujarat, where Rahul Gandhi took a pitch on the caste survey and talked about reviving the Congress. It is now, the session was called the Nyay Path, the path of justice. And there were Sankalp taken, pledges, Samarpan, and Sangharsh, the path to struggle. So that was the basic message. And uh, it was done on the birth anniversary of Sardar Patel. And 100 years ago, apparently, Mahatma Gandhi was the Congress president. So these two were the symbolic tall leaders of the Congress party, not only from both from Gujarat, of course, but the tallest Congress leaders of the country, of the national movement. Other than Jawaharlal Nehru, these two were the tallest leaders. So the focus was on Gandhi and Sardar Patel. About 1725 AICC members, elected as well as co-opted, were present. And the first session was the CWC, and then you had a 2-day AICC sessions. By the way, 64 years ago, there was a AICC session in Gujarat, in Bhavnagar. That was 1961, 64 years ago. So the Congress has gone back to Gujarat. Remember the state of both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the state of Amit Shah. They are taking the battle to Ahmedabad, and that it was the whole idea. That is why they decided to hold the both the CWC and AICC session in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Remember, the BJP has been in power in Gujarat for six six times consecutively. That's almost like 30 years. So so the Congress has been in the opposition for 3 decades. Ever since, remember, ever since Prime Minister Narendra Modi took over as Chief Minister of Gujarat, the BJP has been on a winning spree. So that's the background. What is the focus? The main focus of the party right now is organizational revamp, organizational restructuring. Let me very briefly tell you what the attempt is. The attempt is to empower the district Congress committees. In fact, also the block level committees. The idea is, let important decisions be taken at the district level, at the block level. And in fact, the DCC, the District Congress Committee, all of them are supposed to have a political affairs committee. So even politics at the ground level, and what is the function that they are going to carry other than taking important decisions locally? They are supposed to raise funding, because the Congress doesn't have the kind of funding that the BJP has. So funding will come from the grassroots. That is an important decision. Number two, they are going to counter the polarizing narrative that the BJP has begun against the Congress at the local level. So in a way, punching the BJP's narrative of Hindutva, the polarizing ones, especially on issues of secularism, for example. Then media outreach at the local level and things of that sort. In fact, there is also an attempt to start the booth level management, which the BJP has a monopoly over. The BJP has been doing a very good job there. Mandal committees will be set up, and the focus will be, as I said, funding, fighting elections, booth level management, and all kinds of empowerment from bottoms up. At least that is an approach. It's certainly, Congress has tried it in the past, but this time the entire attempt seems to be rather different. And why do I say that? After talking to several leaders, both in the Congress and in the BJP, what is the difference? What is the difference between this AICC session, this CWC session, and those in the past? One big difference is the pitch of the Congress. The pitch is clearly caste survey. That is at the center of the Congress's new ideology, if you want to put it, the Jati Jan Ganana. This is a very different Congress. I would argue this is Congress 2.0 compared to Congress in the past. Congress never made such a strong, what one would call a mandal pitch. This is clearly a strong mandal pitch, which kind of started, I would argue, in 2023, when Nitish Kumar was trying to, the Bihar Chief Minister, he was trying to form the India Bloc, at that time not called India Bloc, but the Mahagathbandhan. When he was trying to begin, he started the caste survey of Bihar. And Rahul Gandhi immediately, within a week, on 2nd October, Mahatma Gandhi's birthday of 2023, picked up the caste survey idea from Nitish Kumar, and he took it seriously. He sort of has made a serious picture of it. In fact, now he says that more than the Bihar pitch, the Telangana pitch of the caste survey. Telangana, by the way, has done a caste survey. Karnataka has also now is submitting a caste survey in the state. So the Congress is taking it rather seriously. They are kind of doing it in wherever they are in power. So the Telangana model is becoming of the caste survey is becoming the template for the rest of the country. And what are some of the issues over there? Some of the issues are what Rahul Gandhi always talks of: Bhagidhari. Bhagidhari is participation. Participation proportional to the population of the various communities. This is, in a way, although Rahul Gandhi doesn't mention it, but it comes from that famous slogan of Kanshi Ram at one time, if you remember, Jiski jitni bhagidari, uski utni hissedari. So your numbers in the population represents your participation, your representation, and your rights. So that is the slogan behind it. And Rahul Gandhi has added something new to it. He calls it the X-ray of the Desh. He says the caste survey will give us exact figures of which community, which caste has what kind of participation in education, in jobs, in other areas, for example. So that is very, very important in employment. The focus is obviously on employment. At the same time, the focus is also on reservation. Once the caste survey is done, Rahul Gandhi talks about reservation, and he points out that 50% cap on reservation, the Congress will end it. The Congress will go beyond that. In fact, Rahul Gandhi says that you can never become a superpower that India aspires to unless and until we reform the Indian educational system, unless and until we provide jobs based on this Bhagidhari model, based on the caste surveys, because his argument is that almost 90% of the population, it's an approximate figure, but he picks it up from the Telangana survey. He says almost 90% belong to the Dalit, which is the scheduled caste, the Pichda, which is the OBC, the Ati Pichda, which is the MBC, the tribal communities, and Adivasis, as he calls it, and minorities. And he also has a small section called Garib Lok, the poor from the general caste, in this case, meaning the upper caste. So he's talking about at the caste level, he's talking about these various layers, as I said, the OBCs, the MBCs, the Dalits, the minorities, the tribals, and at the class level, he's talking about the rich, which he uses symbolically two names there, the Adanis and the Ambanis. And he says that BJP is only interested in that, the corporate sector, especially these two names. And he says that this caste survey, this Jati Janaganana, is the new weapon of the Congress party in this fight against Kamandal. So it's if you remember the echoes of 1970s, 1980s, 1990s India, he's bringing back the Mandal to fight the Kamandal. So that's basically the point. Now let's look at what is the caste survey aimed at. Obviously, Rahul Gandhi is laying down that good governance should be based on caste data. The poor should get their due. Of course, he talks about reservation, as I pointed out, Bhagidhari. In fact, he also talks about reservation in the private sector, in the corporate sector, in politics, in jobs. But most important, its aim is political in nature, which is to fight the hegemony of Hindutva, the monopoly of Hindutva that BJP has. The idea of Rahul Gandhi is that Hinduism is a very diverse religion based on various communities, various castes from time immemorial, and he wants to sort of unmask, if you want, this entire notion of Hindutva that the BJP has been sort of pushing. So that is the idea. Now, let me ask two fundamental questions. And in fact, he calls this caste survey the foundation of the Congress now. And he says it is Bichar Dhara ka ladai, fight for ideological supremacy, Hindutva versus what he calls the Gandhian method of ideology, Gandhian ideology versus the Sangh and BJP's ideology. He points out that very clearly. But what is hidden behind it is this political fight with the BJP. That's why they have gone to Gujarat, by the way. Of course, as I said, Gujarat is the state of Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, and at the same time, Gujarat is also the state of Mahatma Gandhi and Patel, Sardar Patel. So he wants to replace this existing Gujarat hegemony that Narendra Modi, Amit Shah has with that of Gandhi and Patel. So bring about a new ideological sort of narrative borrowing from the nationalist tradition, but the focus is on the mandal. The focus is at the ground level on the caste survey. That is very important. That wasn't the case during the nationalist tradition. So there he is doing a double fight. Is doing a fight, I would argue, with the BJP because he thinks that the Hindutva monopoly cannot be broken unless you talk through caste, through mandal, through empowerment of Dalits, Pichdas, Ati Pichda, Ati Dalit, tribals, and the Muslims, and also the poor among, as he said, the upper castes. At the same time, uh, he points at the same time he doesn't talk about it, but you'll hear this Rahul Gandhi saying Congress, no other party can fill this vacuum. Now remember, in 2024 the pitch was different. In 2023 he started with a pitch of the India bloc, 18 partners. In fact, the Lok Sabha elections were fought with the India bloc. Congress was a part of it. There were 18 other partners, and they did not beat the BJP, but they did much better. The BJP's numbers, as we know, came down to 240 from 320, 330 plus of 2019, 2014. So they did kind of make a dent in the BJP support base, especially in Uttar Pradesh, in Rajasthan, in Maharashtra, remember. And by the way, Uttar Pradesh, especially, is supposed to be a pocket borrow of the BJP, just like Gujarat, where Rahul Gandhi has taken the fight to. So that is very important. What is the risk here? The risk here is that he borrows the nationalist tradition from Mahatma Gandhi. Rahul takes it from Mahatma Gandhi and Sardar Patel and maybe Nehru and other Congress leaders of that time. But he adds this Mandal element, and in doing that, he gets into another competition at the ground level, maybe unintended or maybe intended, we don't know. But at the ground level, he will be competing with Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh, Bahujan Samaj Party in Uttar Pradesh, whose agenda is basically Mandal, basically a caste identity based movement based on, let's say, the Muslim Yadav combination that Samajwadi Party said since Mulayam Singh Yadav's time, or the Dalit Bahujan combination that Mayawati said in UP. The fight in Bihar will be with the Rashtriya Janata Dal, which also fights based on a coalition of Muslim Yadav and Dalits, or Janata Dal United, JDU. These are the Mandal parties which came out of the JP movement. They were the ones who championed Mandal. Rahul Gandhi, and I'm trying to be critical here, might have discovered this in 2023. He might have realized that the only way to beat the Hindutva pitch is by borrowing the rhetoric, the weapon, as he calls it, of Mandal. But remember, this is nothing new. This was there. It started almost around the time of the anti-emergency movement, 1970. Karpuri Thakur's first ministry between 1978 to 1980 in Bihar. They championed Mandal. In fact, Mandal was a leader who came from Bihar. Um Now, from there, it came to national politics during Vishwanath Pratap Singh's time. And who was Vishwanath Pratap Singh? Who became the prime minister for a short period. And he challenged who? He challenged Rahul Gandhi's father, Rajiv Gandhi. So, what Rahul Gandhi in effect is doing is borrowing the pitch, the weapon of VP Singh, of Karpuri Thakur, of Lalu, of Nitish, of Mulayam Singh Yadav, of Akhilesh Yadav, and the other leader in the south who also believes in the Mandal pitch, for example, in a different way, like the DMK in Tamil Nadu, other regional parties in other states of India. So he's taking that Mandal pitch to fight the Kamandal, but that means he's also in competition at some level with the regional parties. What the Congress feels, perhaps doesn't specify, that most of these parties, the regional parties, mostly, not all, came out of the Congress. They sliced out of Congress. At one time, some of the top regional leaders that we have in India, for example, Sharad Pawar in Maharashtra, for example, let's say Mamta Banerjee in West Bengal, they were all Congress leaders. They came out of Congress, formed their own regional parties. So Congress feels that by having this kind of pitch, the nationalist sort of pitch from the national movement under Mahatma Gandhi and, as I said, Sardar Patel, at the same time, the Mandal pitch, which was a big threat for the BJP all along the 80s, for example, we saw this intense fight between Mandal and Kamandal. So, taking that pitch, combining the two, they want to fight Hindutva. Now, I think it's a great fight. it's a great weapon. But in that, they have to tread carefully so that the allies don't end up becoming enemies, because then it will be a fight, almost like Donald Trump's fight, where he's fighting the whole world. In fact, recently he's changed tack, but he was fighting the entire world with tariffs. So that is the problem, that if you spread yourself in such a manner, taking everyone's agenda, combining it, then the main fight with the BJP might be there, but there might be fights on the side. So I think a better pitch would be if he can bring along those mandal parties along with him. It would be great. For example, in Bihar, when the Congress under Kanhaiya Kumar started their, let's say, uh, their Padyatra from Champaran to Patna, 14th of April, they'll finish their Padyatra. If he could have taken the so-called Mandal parties, the ally, RJD, at least even for one day, if they could ask, it will give a message that although the Congress is fighting the BJP to revive its voter base, but at the same time, electorally, it's there in alliance with the left parties, CPI-ML, CPI, CPM, Rashtriya Janata Dal, and other smaller parties. Now, that will be a very important message here, because there is a risk, as I say, that if you're training your guns on the BJP, your allies should not slide away thinking that Congress is the only party wants to occupy the entire opposition space. And the final word, criticism on the caste front, on equality, on unemployment, on economy is wonderful. But Rahul Gandhi needs a message of hope, a hope for the youth. That I think he should borrow from his father Rajiv Gandhi. Remember Rajiv Gandhi in 1984? Such a majority no one has ever got in the history of India. 400 plus seats. I think it was almost like 414 seats. Rajiv Gandhi had swept the entire parliament. The BJP was reduced to, I think, 2 seats. That comes when you have a great message of hope, like President Barack Obama came with a message of hope. Other great leaders in India, when they have, even Indira Gandhi, when she used to fight, she used to come with a message of hope. So at the end, Rahul Gandhi needs to come with a positive message of hope, other than the criticism and the attempt to demystify, to pulverize the BJP's Hindutva identity. I'll end here. Thank you very much. We'll make more such videos in the future. We'll sort of follow the Congress's revamp plan in the country, in Bihar, and in the other states that will be going to polls next year. Thank you very much.